If you pour yourself out for the hungry and satisfy the desire of the afflicted, then shall your light rise in the darkness and your gloom be as the noonday, and the Lord will guide you continually. I guess our initial involvement started when God just laid adoption on our hearts to begin with, about, well, really almost 18 years ago now.
We looked into a lot of ways that we could participate through adoption, and domestic or international, and ultimately God led us directly to foster care and taking care of those in our own community.
It took us probably about a month after that to really take the plunge. We went to our first information session, which through Clark County is the gateway to the process.
Before we got married, we talked about how we wanted to form our family and what that was going to look like. And so we made the decision before we got married that we were going to build our family through foster care and adoption.
It's something we knew we would always wanted to be a part of. And after having 3 boys and not being able to produce a young lady, we, decided that we were out of excuses. We had space in our home, and God just kind of wound it to a point where it would have been an excuse if we didn't start.
I think, the fears that, looking back, that I had were fears that any parent would have. That you're not, you're doing the diaper the wrong way, or you're gonna break them, or.
Yeah, and I think for me, one of the things that I was concerned about was, can we handle it?
Well, it was our biggest fear, at least mine, that we would actually be able to participate without having to give in or compromise our own convictions. God's been able to make sure that there was a situation that we were able to participate in.
One, I'm too old to do this. I've got 4 kids, got plenty of kids. The other one is, it's probably everyone's biggest fear. How would you ever give that child back?
I think one of our bigger fears too was for our boys, because they're little and they, like we've done our very best to explain to them what foster care really means, and just point out in Scripture how God's asked us to take care of orphans. But and I think they understand it on their own level. But they love her, so I think that's one of our bigger fears.
The fears that we faced, they just can be. They can be numerous. Honestly, there's a lot of excuses, if you want a better word, that we tried every one of them out beforehand. Are we going to have enough money?
Well, it's been a joy not just seeing you interact with the little one, but our entire family. Everyone loves this little guy to death, and just when you hear him crying at night, and then before you can get in there, one of the other kids has already been in there and they're sitting in there rocking him. It's a sweet thing.
Well, look at that face.
She's pretty incredible.
Yeah, we can't show you on camera.
Do you want to go?
Knowing that we have the opportunity to really watch them grow and see who they're turning into, who God created them to be, and to be able to be a part of that, it's really a big deal.
It's a reminder of how little we actually control. I've told some different people that, one of the things that God's shown me more than anything else in this is just the amount of faith that this takes. I don't know if he's going to be in our home for another month or forever.
Go first.
There are times when he's the only one who's there. He will call you to do things where there's no one else who can come alongside beside you. And he'll lead you places where other people can't go.
The idea that the way God sees us is the way that we get to see these children, that they're orphans, that they've been, in bad situations, that they have maybe behavioral problems or, medical issues because of no fault of their own, that we can, give them a home. And that's what God's done for us. And he's brought us into a family. And I think, when you see that, it just is a real life-changing experience.
And I think once you kind of peel back or look behind the curtain and you think, wow, this is a problem and somebody has to do something, or wait a minute, I have to do something about this, and I have the tools or I have the heart, I need to take action.